Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
We'll try it one more time. We've got talkers in the back. I'm not looking at you. Good morning, everybody. We're just waiting to be able to record. Zoom did an update and a couple of things did an update. It actually kicked, even though I logged into my account yesterday, I was doing a Zoom with managers. And I hadn't updated my payment plan, so when we have a 45-minute meeting, so it kicked all the managers out, so then I had to go back in and we had to start all over. Time-wise, it's crazy. So I didn't recognize that I had a different account. Well, who enjoys the rain?
I do.
I enjoy the rain. I enjoy that it clears it up. I enjoy that tomorrow. I can tell you the world's gonna look like it's an HD. There's gonna be no smog, no fog, it's clear. I love it. Only thing is it's no longer green in the hills, but that's my favorite time of year. Are we on? Are we live?
I hope so.
Perfect. Everybody,
If not,
please stand.
oh, well.
The flag salute. Ready? Salute, pledge.
Salute.
Thank you. So raise your hands. Who went to Vegas last week? A few people in the room, absolutely. And who actually went to the trainings and meetings? Half the hands stay up.
You weren't there.
All right. Let's see, Leo.
I didn't go to the wedding.
Oh, must have been that. Everybody, please welcome Courtney with First American Avenue. Click the words and the videos on the next slide.
Oh, it's somebody else can do it. I don't. You've never given me the room.
Yes, it feels good. Yes,
I feel so lucky right now. Okay, so I can go next slide. Everybody, I am Courtney with First American Title, and so basically what I wanted to just come and announce, we just had a little bit of an update, and this is something new for us. You guys have flyers on your desks. I'm sorry, most of you. And I have a video. This is kind of the easiest way to explain it instead of me sitting up and explaining it. Free title monitoring, and then if I go one more, it's going to go video.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Buying a home is a big moment, but when it comes to protecting your home's title, with First American, closing is just the beginning. Property fraud is on the rise. Digital tools have made it easier than ever for scammers to record fraudulent filings against your home. Early awareness and the right support can make all the difference. That's why First American now offers title protection and proactive monitoring services for homeowners. Once you close with First American, you'll have access to activity alerts when filings are recorded against your property, direct access to our claim support specialists if title or ownership issues arise, a secure digital vault containing your transaction documents, plus easy-to-read explanations to help you know exactly what's covered in your policy. And it's all included for free with title insurance from First American. Whether you're a homeowner trying to keep track of your home's title, a real estate agent looking to offer added benefits to your clients, or a prospective buyer exploring title options, know that when you close with First American, peace of mind comes standard.
It did your job for you.
It did. That's why I said it's much easier for them to explain it than me. So the benefit, guys, and so a few things that the video did not cover. So the free title monitoring, it goes retroactive. So any transactions your client or yourself, some of you guys have been buyer, last year, April 1st, you can go on and you can register and you would get access to the title monitoring.
Wow.
Okay. For free. This is a free service. So what I kind of compared it to was Experian. Like some people pay for Experian and you get, alerts on your credit report and stuff like that. This will give you a monthly report for your client, like a client update in email. And basically it's going to tell them no activity or yes, there is activity. So they don't have to go in and like find out or manage an app or anything like that. It's going to email them each time. And then obviously I mentioned it in the video. It's a benefit for you guys as real estate agents to present to your clients. To my knowledge, no other title company has this. And again, free services are pretty much limited. There was a product out there a long time ago, if anyone ever heard of Title Lock. That was a paid for service. And I always kind of joked because I don't have a whole lot of equity or I don't own a whole lot of things outright, right? I'm like, hey, if somebody wants to fraudster me, take my debt, okay, cool. But if you have, you know, a lot of equity and you're sitting maybe with, you know, property that's free and clear, vacant land that's free and clear. I will clarify on this as well. This is just residential 1 to 4, no commercial monitoring, as normal. It does include land. They will monitor land. But yeah, just the added benefit here. So if you have clients that have free and clear, large equity, and then yeah, definitely a fantastic service. Any questions on this whatsoever? Yeah. It goes as long as they have the policy with First American Title. Yeah. So if they refinanced and they went and, you know, that refi company went with a different title, policy, then obviously they wouldn't have that anymore. So also if they have multiple properties and they are all with First American Title on a First American policy, when they go into their portal, it would see all their properties and it would monitor all of them. So if you have like an investor, encourage investors to close with First American. One last thing as well, and this is the clarity deal, and the way we're in is probably heavy to Fresno and Bakersfield. Escrow only companies. I want this to be very, very clear. This has to be a closing with a First American Title company. It cannot be just a First American policy. So sometimes when you go to an escrow only, they'll do the escrow and then you'll get the policy and it will be a First American Title policy. You're not going to get the free title monitoring on that, unfortunately. And that might change, but for right now, this is where we're at.
Send all of it to you.
Send everything to First American and your clients get this for free. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, no, I like it. Thank you for that. I do want to say one thing with the title monitor out of our Fresno office. I took a call, this is 2 years ago, and there was a commercial agent that was calling me. He says, hey, do you have so-and-so working for you? I said, yeah, he works for us. He says he listed a piece of land that I listed about a year ago, and I found out during the escrow process that the sellers that were claiming to be the owners were not, in fact, the owners. They were a fraud, and it was held under a trust, and it had a very common last name. And so he was giving me the notice. So then I called the agent, sat down with him, said, let me see your paperwork. So I just got notice from the last listing agent that it was found out in escrow that it was fraud. But what these fraudsters did is they just happened to have the same last name, and they created a trust. Because guess how the property was held? Smith Trust or whatever, right? It wasn't Smith, but and so that's how they were trying to sell it and pretending to be the owners. And so this stuff does happen. That's the only time I've seen it. If you've been personally involved, luckily we caught it before it sold, but this would have helped.
Yeah, I get a lot of calls, especially around ag show time. Oddly enough, ag show is a prominent one because there's a lot of just ag buyers coming in, and so yeah, people will say, hey, I'll take it, I'll cash, I want to open escrow, I don't need to see its land. But yeah, it's just it's an all-in call, yeah, to get it. So anyways, but yeah, I thank you for your guys' time. Unfortunately, I got to run, but hey, have a great meeting. Okay, thank you, Meyer.
Leo, you are up. Come on over. Give it up to Leo. The lake house is up.
A little bit late here. Good old rain.
Yes.
Had my short sleeve on. I thought, what's all this sweat stuff coming on? And when you don't have a lot of hair for yourself, you got to wear a hat. So I had to bring my hat. Anyway, I'm going to talk a little bit today, real quickly, about something I've talked to you about before, but there's a few new faces. You may not know about this product. The number one reason why people list their house for sales. Give me some ideas. Who's a lister, a big lister out here?
Oh, they're moving to a
Moving.
better neighborhood.
They're moving to a better neighborhood.
Close to
Okay.
schools.
Downsizing,
What?
downsizing.
Downsizing. Okay, that's another one. But there's always another house in the picture, right?
Yes.
They're selling because, yeah, Larry.
Divorce.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
It's his favorite.
I mean, it's not a good one, but I mean, that is a reason. But 9 times out of 10, it's usually they're selling to relocate to another location, which means they're buying another house, right? Okay. So what do people do normally when they list up their house for sale and they know they're gonna move someplace on the other side of town or what have you? What do? They go out shopping, right? They kind of get a feel for the market and try and see what's out there, what the costs are, what can they get for their money, right? Have you ever had somebody come to you? I look directly at Diana, because I know she's a big lister here. But do they ever come to you and say, you gotta sell it quick? I found the perfect house. I want to put an offer on it. Right? That happens, right? And what does that do? That kind of brings down the leverage of their buying capability because they're going to drop the price in order to get a buyer and sell that house, put it in escrow so they can list, so they could buy this new listing that just came up on the market that they gotta have, right? Okay, so a long time ago, when I first got in the business, there was something called a bridge loan. And a bridge loan was done mainly by private investors, okay? Charged high interest rates, 12, 15, 16% interest. Let's see, you gotta remember when I got in the business, fixed rates were 12, 13, 14% fixed rates anyway. But there was private loans that gave the people money with a 1-year call or a 6-month call or balloon payment and so on, okay? So this is a product that is not a whole lot of lenders have available. It is available to anyone that wants to actually sign up with this company, but not everyone does for whatever reason, okay? There's something involved here that makes it a little bit different and makes Vero Mortgage a little bit different as well, okay? So what this does is that it allows the buyer or your sellers, in this case, to buy before their house gets into escrow, okay? It allows money to be released from NOC bridge loans, okay? What they'll do is they'll take 75% of the sales price, minus out what the balance is on the mortgage, minus out fees, and 6 months worth of PITI on the existing loan. Okay. So what it does is it frees up that much money. So this is mainly for people who have a ton of equity in their home. Okay. If they just bought the house a year ago, yeah, no, this is probably not for them. But if they've got a ton of equity in their property, this might be an alternative. It still gives you, the listing agent, the opportunity or the 6 months to list their house and hopefully sell it quickly. Okay. Unlocks the equity, as I mentioned, the first block accesses the equity in the current home immediately to fund your next purchase. No waiting required. So basically, once they get the approval from NOC and from us, as the lender doing the new loan, hopefully, it allows the equity position to be released at the close of escrow. Okay, technically, they still own 2 houses. But we as a lender will not count that PITI or the monthly payment on the existing home, which allows them to close escrow on the new home. Does that make sense? Am I making sense with that? Okay. Right now they got a limited time offer, say $500 on closing costs on eligible transactions. I've got one of these that I'm working on right now. Buyer is moving out of state, and we have at Vero we have an accommodation where we can actually do loans in certain states, Texas, Tennessee, places like that. Okay, so we're able to actually work with NOC and free up X amount of dollars so that they can actually use that money on it as a down payment in that other state in this case. Okay. It leverages your invested equity to fund your next purchase without waiting for your current home to close. How does that affect you? It doesn't. It still gives you your 6 months to go ahead and market the house and hopefully get a buyer for it. Okay. Let's see. No fees to lenders or agents, so it doesn't actually. They don't actually charge us. We don't actually make a commission off this either. Okay. You don't make a commission off that either. What your commission is going to be made on is the property that is for sale, right? And hopefully you write up the new offer on the new property wherever they're moving. If they're moving cross town, perfect, you get to write up 2 offers. Or you get to write up a offer and present a purchase, okay? Make sense?
This makes it easier because now you're not a contingent seller because they can use the. equity to buy the
Exactly.
next one.
Takes away all the contingencies. Like I said, we removed the DTI, the debt to income ratio is removed, or the mortgage payment is removed from the DTI, so that we don't actually hit them with 2 house payments on the old house and the new house that they are purchasing. Make sense? Let's see, 6 months of mortgage payments. This is what's collected as well. Backed off of the equity position, okay? Which means somebody's paying that mortgage payment. That gives you your 6 months to go ahead and market the property, hopefully find a buyer for it. Okay? Now, this is a little bit long. I didn't expect to put this one here together, but unlocks your equity, buys a new home, move in, and sell your old home.
Leo,
Yes,
with the 6 months, they're still gonna be making 2 house payments, correct? Or have-
no.
No?
Knock is collecting the 6 months PITI for them, so Knock makes the payment for them on the old home or on the existing home that you have marketed for sale. Make sense?
Yeah, years ago, you were stuck with the. 2
Years
payments.
ago you did, yeah.
Yeah.
On the old bridge loan that I talked about that was done by private investors, that's how it was done back then. So, yes, Larry.
What happens at the end of the 6 months if it hasn't been sold?
Good question. I asked that same question when I heard this presentation. Knock actually buys the property. They actually buy it. So, do they renegotiate a sales price? I don't know. They're gonna do an appraisal probably and an AVM to actually see if the property is actually overinflated in the price, or maybe it's one of those kind of, I mean, you've all had those sellers who think their house is worth this when it's really only worth this.
That's
Right?
Yeah.
Happens all the time, right?
Do they check out the house? before
Absolutely.
they Give them the money?
Well, they actually do it, they actually do what they call an ABM. Okay, it's an appraised value valuation model, okay? And what they're doing is they're taking comps in the area and they're saying, oh yeah, kind of like what
They look at-
Zillow does and what Trulia does, except a little bit more advanced, because we lenders use AVMs all the time. Okay, so yeah, they're definitely going to look at the property and do an AVM on it in order to determine whether or not the value or the sales price is justified. Okay. Fair upfront pricing, they charge typically 2 points, 2% loan fee. Everything is given to your customer or the seller. Everything is given to them up front, so they can actually make a decision as to whether or not to go with this and put an offer on this house right now. Or maybe just, let's give Larry a chance to go ahead and market that house. Hopefully he'll get a buyer real quick. You know, they could do that too. Okay? It's not for everyone. Tell you that right now. It's not for everyone. I would say the people that this would be good for is people who have deep equity. Okay? Deep equity is, I would say, 50%, somewhere in that vicinity. So people who have lots of equity in the home, this is the product that could help them purchase the new home without waiting for the house to sell. Okay. So don't wait. Stop letting the complexity of buying and selling your home hold you back from the home you deserve. Okay. Like I said, there's people that are out there that are going to fall in love with this house because, and 9 times out of 10, they walk into this house and they don't actually have their agent with them, right? I just had a deal get accepted last week where I warned the agent that they were working with. I said, you know what? Do yourself a favor. On the first day that you start showing this lady property, take them out to the new subdivision and register them. Okay. Sure enough, she falls in love with out in Goshen, falls in love with a SME home, has to have this house, writes up an offer, we're in escrow. Okay, don't make the mistake where you let them go out there by themselves and look at homes, especially the new homes, and next thing you know, you're out of the deal. Okay? Anyway, we thank you very much for all your business. I did have a real estate agent from this office call me last week, 2 weeks ago, saying, no offense, Leo, I've got a buyer that is a female. She feels a little bit more, I think she would feel more comfortable working with a female loan officer. Can you refer me to someone? Absolutely. That pretty lady right there is my wife. Last time I saw, she was female.
Yeah.
Okay. And she's very good at talking to people and getting people qualified for homes. Former underwriter. I go to her with all my questions. And she doesn't always have them the right one, but most of the time, I would say 99% of the time. So don't tell her about the 1%. Though. Anyway, thank you very much for your business. We keep sitting on. Thank you. Thank you.
I noticed you said you can do Texas and Tennessee, so only T states.
Oh, it could be any state.
So I was gonna say,
Oregon,
so I got people moving to
Washington.
Oregon.
Any place.
Okay, this is going forward. Thank you, Leo.
Thank you.
We did this already. Oh, this was when I made it to the top of the hill on one of the walks, but I went on a walk this morning. It wasn't raining. Some people asked if it was raining. It wasn't raining this morning. C21 event. We got any volume on this one?
You guys are zero technology is your killer. In any business, technology is the thing that can help free you up so we can spend more time being people. At the center of everything we do, guys, is the relationship. And never forget it's every single one of you guys' relationship. We have what new brands do tell you. We are expressing. Classics never go out of style. They are constantly reinvented. Technology accelerates, consumer expectations rise, competition is out there, and yet this moment is filled with so much opportunity.
Man, that was exciting.
It was really good.
That was exciting. I didn't go this year. Mike and I switch off every year, which joke is on me because you know what Century 21 started doing? Every other year. So next year,
You go
they'll
next
have
year.
one, and I get to go next year, but there isn't one for me to go to, so I'll find something else to attend. I'll attend the summit. Raise your hands if you do not know when I say attend summit, what that means. Raise your hand if you don't know what that means. Everybody knows what the summit is. Everybody has read about it, heard about it. Good. So I'll still talk about it because it's there. The summit is the event that started as an award ceremony for the company that we are now a part of with Select Group. They have both Coldwell Banker and Century 21 offices. It's evolved into a 3-day event. Monday's a fun day, Tuesday, Wednesday are educational days, and they close out Wednesday evening with the award ceremony and a free dinner for everybody that attends. This event with Century 21 is $699 if you buy early, $750 after that. The summit is 100% free for all of our agents. We just want you to attend. The hotel rooms are about $130. You just got to get yourself to Reno. And so if you haven't been to the summit, please go. How many of you have been there? Nobody, only Mike. Mike's the only one that's ever gone. So it's this May, the week after Mother's Day. Next year, there is no C21 corporate event that they're competing with. So next year, we should have a lot of attendance. So please do that. Anybody recognize what's on the screen?
Snap now.
Perfect. I got to do a one-on-one session with Daryl last week instead of, because there's people I had the time to do. So those of you who don't know how to use this, please set up some time with myself or Bob or get on the 10 a.m. morning trainings every single Tuesday at 10 a.m. We have a training via Zoom that's handled through the Select Group. I wanted to show you guys about the buyer-seller representation. So however this snap page looks to you, I know that I have a couple things that are for broker only. Please go in there and just start exploring it. You can't hurt the system. The only thing that is live you want to be careful with is your website. You can make all kinds of changes on your website that you may not want. So be careful with that. Other than that, please get in there. Your website and all your tags are right here on the side, your emails on the side. But if you go to that, here's what happens next. And here's the next screen. And so it has all kinds of stuff. There's trainings and events, there's stuff for instructors. But when you go into that buyer seller stuff, you can go to buyer representation brochures. They have them for all of the brands. Where you would pick the one for C21, and it has brochures that you can either print out and give to your customers if you're working with them, they're a buyer. If you're doing an email consultation or a phone consultation, you email it to them, and it makes you look good and professional, and they get a digital copy of that brochure. These pages are much longer. They have tags for sellers, tags for buyers. They have all kinds of stuff that you can go in there and download, print at, look at, and they have a lot of tools. So it is pretty in depth, but it's all at your fingertips and it's open 24/7. All you got to do is log in. Here's an example of an agent script. Another agent will take a lower commission. For you listing agents, have you guys ever heard that before? There's another agent that will take it for a lower price, or sorry, a lower commission. And so there's scripts in there that might have you think of it a little bit differently, maybe a slightly different language. So please get in there and start looking at everything that's in there for you guys. There's a lot of tools. If you're not comfortable with the tech yet, give me a call. I'll set up some time with you and we'll do a one-on-one. But again, every single Tuesday, 10 a.m., there's a training you can log on to. Anybody know where to find the training?
Snap. Training and events.
Training and events. And so all you do is log in there. There's a calendar. You can go this month, next month, and just pre-register for it. So please, if you're stuck on it, you haven't seen it, haven't spent any time on it, you probably haven't attended any of the training. So we can sit down and we can do it one-on-one. Not today, but I can put you up for next week.
That's fine.
And so we'll get you into some of that. So read this with me. Everybody ready? You have two choices. You can make a living, or you can design a life. How many of you plan your day every single day? I don't plan it every single. I have a to-do list every single day, but I don't plan it that much. How many of you knew that you were going to be in real estate your entire life? I didn't. I fell into this by accident. I never thought that I would do this for a living. I was doing it to buy rentals. I sure as heck didn't think I'd be a broker owner someday or an outflow owner. And so I never did this for a living. I never intended to do this for a living. I kind of fell into this. And so what happens for a lot of us in real estate is we end up getting real estate because we want the flexibility. We want the income. We want all of these things, but then we fall into a trap where we just become complacent, if you will. We become good enough to make a living, good enough to survive, but we don't really focus enough to create the kind of life that we want. And so what I want to encourage you all to do with the new technology that we have at your fingertips with AI that everybody talks about is to get good at the tools that you will use to make you more efficient so you can actually start enjoying your life. So that when you look at your calendar, the first thing you do every single year is you put in your kids' birthdays, your holidays that you want to do, you put in your anniversary, you put in the stuff that you absolutely want to do instead of waiting for some day. And the rest of it is planning a way to get there, planning for your financials to be able to afford the kind of life that you want. But you have to decide that I'm going to design the life that I want instead of just surviving in real estate. The decision is yours. The kind of life that you live is yours. The kind of income that you have is yours. I've always looked at money as not the goal of my life. It's always been a transaction helping the family. But the nice thing about money, it's a great insulator when times are tough. If you've done a good job, if you put some away, it doesn't feel as stressful. So for those of us that are feeling the stress, I don't feel it in my personal life, but damn, I felt it the last 2 years of my business life. It's like this business is expensive to run. And so how do we design a life? How do we design a life that you want to have? And here's how we start doing it. It's growth versus scaling. As a realtor, growth and scaling are often used interchangeably, but they're very different strategies. Understanding that this can completely change how you build your business. So here's the difference. And I want to relate it first to all of you in a very personal way. How many of you grew up with friends in whatever neighborhood you grew up with, and you guys have taken different paths in lives, and now they're somewhere completely different than you are? Raise your hands. Can anybody relate with that story? I can relate to my best friend that was my best man at my wedding. We have very different lives now, but at one point we were very close. We were tied at the hips. We did everything together. But he went his way, I went my way. And now over time, now I'm 49, I'll be 50 this year. Now, 40 years later, because we've been friends since we were about 9 years old, our lives are very, very different. But look at your real estate career. If you start learning the tech now, you can do 1 to 2 extra deals a year. That's it, just a year. That's another $7,000 to $15,000 in income this year. If next year you do 1 to 2 extra deals, now your income is $25,000 to $30,000 higher. If you do that for 4 years, you have $120,000 more income in 4 years than you do this year. How many of you would like to have another 120 grand in 4 years? The difference is what you learn today. The difference is what you start applying today. Will you start learning how to do one extra deal a year? Can that one extra deal a year turn into one extra deal a month? But you see, if you don't learn the technology now, if you don't become efficient at what you do now, you're going to look in 4 years and you're still going to be looking at the same income that you had today. Let me rephrase that. You're going to be looking at the same transaction count that you have today. Your income will go up because prices will go up. So if you want a difference in your life that is significant, you got to look at how this business and how this tech can help you do one extra deal a year. Every single year. So if you're doing 10 deals a year, when you look at it 4 years from now, you're doing 14, which is 40% more income you have now. So whatever that is to you, can you commit to learn one new technology this week? Most of you don't want the income. Can you raise your hands if you want to do one more thing? Just learn how to use the email. If I could tell you to do one thing, Daryl and I sat down and he's in his email, he changed his website around. He did it all in a few minutes. I think the biggest thing, it took us a few days to get the right picture, the right size, but he can go in there and change it if he wants to. What I really encourage you to do is to learn how to use the email, because although it sounds very, very basic, what I like the most about that system is that I can tag 100 different things for every customer that's in there or every client that's in there. So if I'm friends with Larry, and I know that Larry likes to ride motorcycles, in this case, particularly Harleys, every time there's a Harley thing going on or a bike run, I'm going to email everybody that's on that list with Harleys. If I got somebody on the list that likes the Rams, I can say, hey, Rams are playing on Monday night. They only do that like once every 2 years because they're not very popular. But you know, you get the drift. If we have anybody who's a Dodgers fans, Dodgers won last night, man. Congratulations, right? Did the Dodgers win last night?
Yes, they do.
Yes, they did. They bit the Colorado Rockies. And so they won last night. But all of a sudden, if I have 1,000 people and I got 20 Dodgers fans and I say, hey, congratulations on the Dodgers win, they know that I'm thinking about them. And that email system is so basic, but so powerful, you have to learn it. And if what I'm saying doesn't make any sense to you, come see me. These are called tags. And you can get 100 tags per person and get very, very customized. That can get very exciting. So please, let's keep doing that. Okay, this is just everything that I've been talking about. It was all on that same slide. I just kept talking. Sorry to cover the slide. Scaling is about getting more efficient. How many more deals can you do? How many of you put one deal in escrow and you're stressed the hell out with one deal in escrow? Right? At the beginning, that should be your normal. At the beginning, that should be your normal, that you're stressed out and you're so worried about your customer that's in escrow. Over time, you can get 2 or 3 or 4 deals in escrow and you carry the same stress, but now your capacity is 4. So technology is about scaling how many deals you can do without getting stressed out. Over time, you will build up resilience. I think I was talking to somebody yesterday about one of the 5 lawsuits we have going in and 3 of them going into mediation. And when I got the first one, when Mike and I first bought the business, I lost sleep for like a week. When we got the second one, I was telling you the same story. When we got the second one, I lost sleep for like 3 or 4 days. When we got the third one over the last 10 years, I lost a little bit of sleep. And by the fourth one, it's like, yeah, I mean, look, what kind of liability do we have? What's our exposure? And what happens is you build up resilience and you're able to scale and you have a bigger bandwidth as you get more experience in this business. Guess what this technology will do for you? It'll take you from doing 10 deals a year to 20 without any additional stress. So I'm using AI quite a bit. I use this. Yeah, are you getting bored back there? So I have rental properties and I created my own spreadsheet years ago. But at the end of the year, I got to add it all up, get it to my account. So I put it all into chat. I gave it all my stuff and it created this brand new one that just does it all for me. How many of you have things in your life where, I mean, it literally broke down like a week worth of work. And now as I go and put stuff in every single month or every time there's an expense, it's done. I don't have to spend any more time at the end of the year. But it took about 3 hours to get that right with AI. But it's going to be completely changing my life and bringing me about a week of my time back. So scaling is your ability to do more with the same amount of time. Real talk. Sorry, I'm getting dry mouth. Can somebody read this for me? Jen, will you read that one for me?
If you only grow, you'll eventually hit a ceiling. If you scale too early, you'll create chaos. The winning move: grow, systemize, and scale.
So it's your system that allows you to grow. It's a system that allows you to get good at things. Another example is when you're learning how to drive and you get to an intersection, what do? You turn the radio down. When it's foggy and you're driving in the fog and you get to an intersection, what do most of us do? We turned the radio on so we could see better. I don't know why we do that. It's, you're hearing, not seeing right yet because it works. And so you create this system, and now if I tell you, tell me about your driving to work, most of you got here on autopilot and you didn't even think about it. Right? So it's a system inside of you that you're already programmed, you already feel very comfortable for it. Get comfortable with learning the tech because it is the system that will make you more efficient. It's very simple stuff, but it takes time to learn. You guys have 6 months to learn it and make it work for you. Okay. After that, you get a decision whether you want to use it or not. Here's my real estate tip of the day. Larry, can you read that one?
Some people create their own storms, then get upset when it rains.
We're all thinking of that agent that pissed us off. We're all thinking about it right now. All right. Make sure to say your expectations out loud, or better yet, in writing. They are only real if they are in writing. Not picking on you in the back of the room because we've had this happen now 3 times. When you're going on counters and you're countering back and forth, please restate everything that you expect. Because as real estate agents, we interpret things and we think that we're on the same page. And even though you do it right, because you're following the contract, sometimes the other side gets lost in translation and you don't get it. And we've had 3 of these in like 2 weeks, and this has been too much. And it's not that we're not doing the training, our agents are doing it right. Is that sometimes the other side is not understanding it, and they're, oh, but wasn't reiterated on the last one, so I didn't think it was still part of the deal. This happens, right? Raise your hand, don't raise your hands. So this happens. So then I have the coffee scenario. How many of you, I want to really tie this down. This is about setting expectations versus assumptions. How many of you remember a relative's birthday, or better yet, a friend's birthday, and you send them out a text and you say, hey, happy birthday? And how about when it comes to your birthday and they don't do it back? Does it hurt your feelings? Sometimes for some people it does, for some people it doesn't. It's an assumed expectation that if I tell you happy birthday, then you should remember my birthday. If I'm nice to you, you should be nice to me. But these are our own expectations. And if we're not saying it out loud, then we can't expect people to read our mind, right? So how many of you maybe cook dinner and you expect either the kids or the spouse to do the dishes because you cook dinner? Was that an agreement in advance? Or was that just an assumption? Because I cooked and I took the time. Larry, I would appreciate it if you would do the dishes. I could. I mean, can you do that for me? But if it's not spoken, it's not going to happen. And so what happens in real estate is we communicate with our own expectations on transactions, maybe with our clients, but definitely on the other side, but we're not telling them what we want back. It's like walking into a coffee shop, and Larry, I'm easy to pick on you because you don't get offended easily. I go into a coffee shop and you're behind the counter, and my expectation is I'm going to ask you for coffee, and then when you give it to me, I'm going to give you yesterday's cup of coffee that I didn't finish. I'm just trading coffee. It's weird, right? But if I gave that to you in that scenario in real life, you'd be like, that's crazy, Mike. Why would you ever do that? Because that's how I expect to be communicated with. Like, I bought this yesterday and now it's old and cold and I didn't finish it. Replace it for me. But he's expecting to get paid with what? When you do it in such obvious terms, it sounds ridiculous that he would expect something like money from you, right? But we do this crap all the time in real estate. We expect people to communicate with us the way that we do. We expect that if we text them, we want them to text us back. What if they don't like to text? What if they like to email? What if they don't like to do an email? What if they want to call you, but you don't answer their phone? You see, you cannot expect people to communicate with you in the way that you want. You have to specifically tell them. And so when it comes to real estate, don't assume things. Make sure that there are in writing. Does that make sense to anybody? So please, make sure it's in writing. Make sure it's clear, because things get misinterpreted all the time. The 80-20 rule. Anybody know the 80-20 rule? 80% of the sales are done by 20% of the salespeople. 20% of your efforts give you 80% of your business. The other 80% of your efforts that you're doing is cleaning up somebody else's mess, or cleaning up expectations, or communicating. But when it actually comes to showing a property, to doing the work, 80% of what you do is just taking care of fluff, because you're not systematized the way you should be. And this is over and over in every business. 80% of all the sales are done by 20%. Anybody know how many agents we have in the local association? Anybody? We have 1,887 roughly. A lot of them dropped off. We were over 2,000, but with the dues, a lot of people didn't pay that are part-time realtors. So we're down to just over 1,800 real estate agents. I want to prove this to you in a very real way. What's 10% of 1,800? It's 180. What's 20%? Twice that's 360. Right now, if I told you to give me the 360 top real estate agents in Tulare County, most of you can come up with about 100 names. And if you pull them up on the computer, you can give me about 360 of them. If we looked at 80% of all the transactions, they're going to be done by 360 agents, not 1,800. The other 1,500 are part-time. The other 1,500 do 1 or 2 deals a year. You see, there's a lot of deals to go around, but if you're not in the top 20% of the real estate agents, you're barely in the business. And so in order to make a better living, in order to protect yourself, in order to provide better for your family, whatever it is that it's important to you, you have to increase your personal market share. And if you don't increase your personal market share, you're responsible for the kind of life that you have. So do you want to be part of the 20% that's doing all the business? Raise your hands. Do you guys know what the company market share is? We've been 23 to 25% for the last 10 years. 25% of every deal that is sold in Tulare County, we buy, sell, or list. Did you guys know that? You guys have done a very, very good job at building your personal market share, but there's still room for growth. And so if you want to do a little bit more deals, if you want to have a little bit more income, all we ask is that you do 1 more deal this year than you did last year. 2, well, whatever you can do. But please, it's your business. But the 80-20 rule, unfortunately, in real estate is becoming the 90-10. The real top heavy hitters are growing their business at a level that nobody else is. And we're seeing that now more than ever. And why is it happening? Because of their systems, because they're becoming efficient. So, who wants to read this one for me? Vera, you haven't been here in a while. Will you read that from real last?
Sure. My goal is not to be better than anyone else, but to be better than I used to be.
And that's the only goal. It's not comparing yourself to somebody else in the room, somebody else that's doing deals, not comparing yourself to a friend. It's simply, am I doing better than I did yesterday? Don't leave. I don't leave.
Sorry.
All right, just for fun. Ready? Everybody read this with me. I don't usually brag about going to expensive places. But I slept for gas stations. What's that top half of gas prices? I rented a truck because I got to move stuff from apartments and things, everything that happened in life. And so it's just like, I filled up $115. I'm like, man, it is more expensive to fill it up than it is to rent it.
Gas in Vegas is
It's
expensive.
crazy, right? And so, but anyways, I can't, yeah. So if you drive a V8, I feel sorry for you because man, it's gas expensive. My SUV that I usually drive is a 4-cylinder. People see the size of that, and that's a 4-cylinder. Yeah, I get 30 miles a gallon on average. This truck, I'm getting like 18 to 20. I hate it, but I only have it through Thursday. All right, let's go to some learning. AI in action. Look, I'll be honest with you. I am tired of hearing about AI. AI this, AI that. Every email I get is about AI. I'm tired of it. But the reality is that I use AI. I use ChatGPT primarily, but there's a couple other ones that I'm using just to get used to them. I use it every single time. I use it all of the time, every single day to help me put letters together, to help me respond to things. If you get a 3-sentence email from me, that's me. If you get a half-page email from me, that's me and ChatGPT working that together. But in what I'm doing, I use it every single day. And I just told you that I used it to make my Excel spreadsheet a heck of a lot better and save me about a week's worth of time. I mean, quite literally, it takes me like 3 to 4 weeks to get all my taxes together because it's just, I got to do it on weekends. And so now I won't have to worry about that anymore. So again, when it comes to AI, please continue to use it. Please continue to attend some of the classes. It is going to make you more efficient at what you do. You can use it for very simple things. You can use it to really analyze what you have going on in your calendar. You can upload your calendar. It can tell you what you can do differently. It'll make you more efficient. It'll give you some of your time back. The most important part about using AI, guys, is prompting. Bob is great at prompting it and sending them out to you guys because you have to tell it how to act and how to think. So it's all in the prompt that you give it. A proper prompt will give you a very different result. You can go into your ChatGPT or your AI that you use later today and give it 3 different and brand new chats, like doesn't not even in the same thread, and it'll give you completely different results just based on how you tell it what to do. So get better at your prompts. Monthly learning calendar, you guys have 2 to look at it if you want to. You guys still have the Century 21 through Moxie Works and 21 Online. Continue to look at that and make sure that you're using that technology if that's what you like. Moving forward, we want everybody to focus on snap training. because one of the things that Bob didn't like, that I didn't like, is with Century 21 Corporate, whatever they gave us to use the technology is what we presented to you. And in the last 10 years, we've had 3. We've had, was it Zap or Zip before that? And I don't remember what the first one was, but the technology is always changing. The nice thing about Snap is that it's owned by the company, so it's never going to change. It's going to evolve and get better, but it's not going to change. And so continue to use both. The way the Snap system works is when you put somebody into Snap, if you turn the feature on, it'll automatically sync into your MoxieWorks. And so anybody that you put into Snap goes into Moxie. It doesn't do it in reverse because corporate didn't allow it to share downwards. So we share upwards all the information. So whatever you put into our system will automatically go into that system for you. Okay. And then somebody mentioned that they think we're tracking everything that you guys are doing, and the answer is we don't. How many of you have Gmail accounts? Gmail is scanning your emails much more than the company ever will. Unless you go into your Google account and you turn it off, they're scanning what you're typing, what you're saying, and what you're doing, because anybody ever say something or email something, all of a sudden the advertising on your phone changes or on your computer changes. They're reviewing everything that you do. All of the emails that we have, either through jordanlee.com or through Snap, we are not tracking what you do. We don't know what you're doing. We simply know how many customers you have or clients you have in your database. And all that we do is we send them 15 contact things from you per year. If you choose to keep it active, that's 12 emails, 1 a month, about a market update, depending on where their zip code is at. And it comes from you, and they think that it came from you. And if you click the box, you get the exact same email. So if your customer calls you, you can just look it up and you know the exact report they're looking at. Then they're going to get 3 pieces of mail in the mail from you without you lifting a finger. But we do not track what you do. We do not steal your customers. We simply know how many customers you have and market to them on your behalf. But we don't track it. And if you're scared about being tracked, where your customers are going, don't get a Gmail account. Some people are really concerned about it. But I get the concern, but we're not stealing your customers. So, just so you know. All right, product spotlight. Today at 10, every single Tuesday, except for the week of Summit, 10 a.m. Can you guys get on there and learn something? If they're going too quickly for you, if you don't know it well enough yet, hop off. Don't stress out about it. Make an appointment with myself or with Bob, and we'll do some one-on-ones with you. If we get enough, we can do some live training in here. It's not very difficult, but it is kind of like, you know, learning to drive a stick shift when you've never driven a stick shift. It is a little clumsy until you get through this stuff a little bit. And so please, every single Tuesday, 10 a.m., don't stress about learning it, but make some effort. Tomorrow we have Bill doing a training on listings that sell and how to close an escrow. How many of you had Bill involved in saving a deal? Nelly, where's Nelly? He just helped Nelly out for like 2 weeks saving that deal. He is great. And Bill still works for us, and he's somewhat retired. He's about 80 now. He is fantastic. The knowledge that he has in real estate, he'll put you at ease when you're stressed the hell out and your deal's going sideways. If I'm not available, please call Bill. He'll help you save the deal and mellow you out, because he has that effect on most of us because he's just so knowledgeable. So please continue to call Bill. I'm saying this also in part because I'm off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday this week for a funeral. I'm not here the next 3 days. So if you need me, I can text you back Wednesday and Thursday, but you're not going to get hold of me at all on Friday. So if there's something going sideways, text me, I'll text you back. But please, if you need more help beyond that, call Bill this week, okay? We're clear? All right, perfect. Passing that. Sorry, Bob, I'm passing all this. It's okay. Summit. This is a resort called the Peppermill Resort. I've never been to it, so I've been told that it's nice. I'm assuming that it's very nice. I've never been to Reno, so I can't tell you if Reno is nice, but it's a completely free event. They seem to do it the week after Mother's Day almost every single year, but I guess it could change in future years. Please go to that. It's completely free to all of you if you have that time available. If not, if you don't go this year, please make sure you go next year, okay? Who's going this year? Who's going to Summit this year? That's it? No Dave, no Matt? Matt, you going? Right. Perfect. With that, before we go, tip of the month, mortgage rates hovering near 6%. Have they helped maintain or stay steady with buyer activity? Here's what we know about buyer activity. Buyers that have to buy, sell, move are still in the business, are still making offers. Are we still seeing multiple offers on some properties?
Yes.
We still are. The ones that have a nicer lot, the corner lots, those with a pool, the ones that are in desirable neighborhoods, we're still seeing multiple offers. It's a great time for buyers to be in the market because they have less total competition. But make sure they're pre-approved. And you actually have an event coming up that you want to invite us to, right?
Yes.
Try to get up here. Tell everybody about your event.
Good morning, guys. I'll just pass these out. We're doing our Cinco de Mayo celebration again this year, so we just wanted to invite you guys. It is on Cinco de Mayo. We're gonna have tacos, enchiladas, churros,
It's been a tough year in
Double
real
day.
estate, so I think we're gonna have a lot of people.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun last year, so I hope you guys can all make it, but we do have the flyer, so you can RSVP, just give us a call or just show up. We'll be there. Oh.
I want to remind everybody, please go to that event and support them. It's from 11 to 1 p.m., which means for most of you, you have to work after 1 p.m., so don't have too many micheladas. Have just enough to still be functional. Okay, but that'll be, thank you for doing that every single year. Oh, I skipped one. This is not what's on the screen, but we're gonna do it here anyways. Coming soons and just listed. Anybody in the room? Coming soon. Sure.
I have a three bedrooms with that. Big community on Northwest Visalia. We're gonna list it at 4,000.
Yeah.
20.
I'm thinking there's a few gated communities. Which one is it? Marseille, Ashton Park. Nice. Sounds fancy. It sounds like it should have gates at the door. Anybody else coming soon perhaps wants? Go ahead.
I'm going to have a mobile home, but it has the certificate.
Oh, so it has a proper foundation that's limited.
Yes,
Is it in a park or on land?
it's on land.
Perfect.
In Wood Lake, Lemon Cove, Wood Lake.
Okay. But I just went down to keep going.
But it's really nice. It's really cute. It's a 3-2. I think it's just under like 1,200 square feet or right around there.
How much land?
A lot. I can't remember.
Over an acre?
Just under, I think.
So about an acre. That's what everybody wants. Is about an
Under
acre.
an
land.
acre.
House.
Probably listed between 315 and 329. She
Where is
hasn't
it
decided.
That is really.
How much?
Wood Lake or Lemon Cove, whatever. It has like a Wood Lake address, but it's in Lemon Cove. It was my previous buyer, so she's moving.
That's
across.
actually, everybody's looking for a house with an acre of land. This,
Yeah.
they can build a house next to it somewhere. So yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
Thanks.
Anybody else who's coming soon? Larry?
I got another American Legion in Fresno this time.
That's right. We talked about that. Yes.
And, it's on half an acre. The building's debatable whether it's restorable or needs to be demolished. Half an acre, it's a corner lot, residential / commercial. And it's gonna be probably right around 200.
That is a heck of a price for a commercial area. Man, that is good. He's selling all of the American Legions that don't want to be in business anymore. So you have somebody who rides Harleys as part of the American Legion, just don't even try to do business, just in Model Larry. Anybody else coming soon or have some wants? Anybody?
Oh, I still have a want
What is it?
for briefly or Dinuba.
Okay.
And anything more or over an acre. 3-bed, 2-bath, preferably like 1,800
They
square
don't
feet
want
or
to
more.
go.
No, and they're qualified up to 740, so
That is,
I,
that
I'm
should get him something.
struggling, but yeah.
Anybody else coming soon has some wants? Matt?
Triplex, 2-in-1s with a 1-car garage, rent for about $1,200 a month each. Probably be $579.
What city or town?
Hmm?
Where at?
Southeast by say, great location, over by Mike's house.
Really?
Area.
That is a nice area.
Mhm.
575.
I was
Anybody want to become a landlord? Move in one and rent the other two.
2-in-1s, what were the rents?
2-in-1s, $1,200 a month.
36.
No HOA.
Fine.
uh,
Man, that they pay for themselves.
Good condition.
How long would it be before you put it on the market?
Probably next week or so. And then one in Castlewood coming probably in the next 2 weeks or so, and 1,200 square foot, probably be 279, somewhere in that range.
Really? You got some good listings coming up. Good job, man. Anybody else coming soon or have some wants? No? I'm gonna get you guys all out of here every single Tuesday before 10 a.m. So I want you guys to have the ability to log in by 10 a.m. Thank you all.